Since very ancient times, different civilizations described the structure of the world not as a sphere floating in empty space, but as a series of lands arranged in concentric circles. Among the most fascinating of these visions is the Vedic cosmology preserved in ancient texts of India, where the world is represented as a system of dvipa. The word dvipa literally means island continent. According to this tradition, terrestrial reality is composed of large circular regions separated by concentric oceans. At the center lies Jambudvipa, considered the place where humanity emerges and develops. Around this center appear other great circular continents, each surrounded by seas of different characteristics, forming a geometric pattern that resembles an expansion from a primordial point. This ancient concept is surprisingly close to the idea represented in the Nocelli map, Terra Infinita Hyperborea Origin Map. In this map, the central point is not Jambudvipa, but Hyperborea, an ancestral region that many European and Asian traditions described as the origin of a primordial civilization. Here, Hyperborea appears as the symbolic core of the beginning of humanity, from which lands and cultures expand toward the outer circles. The representation from the center is not accidental. In many traditional cosmologies, the center symbolizes the origin, the axis of the world, and the point of connection between the heavens, the earth, and ancestral knowledge. Drawing the map from Hyperborea seeks to recover this ancient perspective. The idea that human history begins in a civilizational nucleus that later expands toward increasingly distant regions. In this way, the Terra Infinita map can be understood as a modern reinterpretation of a very ancient cosmological pattern, a world organized in rings of lands, oceans, and natural barriers, where each region represents a stage or expansion of the known territory. Just as the Vedic sages described the world through the dvipas, the Terra Infinita map proposes a vision in which multiple lands and domains appear organized around a primordial center. In this interpretation, Hyperborea symbolizes that origin, the point from which humanity begins its history, and from which expansion toward the outer territories unfolds. The map is not intended to be only a geographical representation, but also a symbolic image of humanity's ancient memory, a cartography that connects traditions, mythologies, and cosmologies that throughout the centuries have attempted to describe the true structure of the world. A comparable vision also appears in Norse mythology through the concept of the 9 realms. In the cosmology of the ancient North, existence was described as a structured order of interconnected domains surrounding the great cosmic axis known as Yggdrasil, the world tree. These realms formed a layered cosmological system that expressed the idea of multiple regions arranged around a central structure. Such traditions reflect an ancient way of understanding reality as an ordered expansion from a primordial center, a concept that resonates with the vision presented in the Terra Infinita map, where lands and territories appear organized in successive domains surrounding an original point of emergence. In many ancient traditions and remote visions of the world, reality was not seen as a closed sphere, but as an expanding land surrounded by unknown territories. Explorers, sages, and mythological texts often spoke of distant regions beyond the known lands, separated by oceans, mountains, or natural barriers. The idea of Terra Infinita reflects this ancient intuition, that the known world may be only a central region, within a much larger and unexplored domain of lands, extending far beyond the limits of common maps. In more recent times, some practitioners of remote viewing, a method explored in modern parapsychological research, have reported perceptions of vast territories and environments extending beyond the commonly known regions of the world. While interpretations vary, these accounts are sometimes seen as echoing ancient cosmological traditions that describe lands existing beyond the limits of familiar maps.